going on, Falcon fan? This is your boy. The Falcon fan, we don't see so many things happen in the last minutes of the game where the Falcons have actually lost the game. But um, am I still muted? Can anybody tell me I'm still muted? Please let me know. Okay, awesome, thank you. All right, so like I said, just being a Falcon fan and just watching this team throughout the years, um, was I surprised? Yes, I was. I'm not gonna lie, I was. I was surprised, because this team has not showed, the old Falcon ways this year. So I was thinking like, it's no way they're gonna actually blow this game, but you know, they did. They actually, I thought they blew it, right? So like I said, personally, I left twice. I left at the end of the regulation. Um, and I waited. I did wait to see when he was going to make the field goal, and he missed it. We went in overtime. I thought the referees blew a pass interference call when Marcus Mariota tried to go deep to Namir Bird. That was a pass interference, but I guess the ref was not going to end the game like that on that call. They stuck their whistles in their pocket, but whatever. So we went in overtime. We got the ball first. Marcus threw an interception, right? And then I left again. This time I actually left. I was walking out the stadium, and then I heard the fans cheer, and I asked what happened, and everybody like he missed. He missed another field goal, right? And then this one it was closer, way closer, and then the extra point, at the end of regulation. I'm not sure how many yards it was, but I know when the defender returned the ball back, he was in the at least at the 30. So I was just 100% sure that he was gonna make that field goal, give them the win, and this game is gonna be over. However, Arthur Smith iced him, right, put a little pressure on him, and he missed it. He actually missed the game winning field goal, and then that's it, right? Give a team too many chances. the win after you took it and stole it from them, and they're gonna go out and bite you. And that's exactly what the Atlanta Falcons did. Atlanta Falcons was able to, and the way I put it, we won and lost the game twice. I mean, this just what it really boils down to. The Atlanta Falcons won the game twice and they lost it twice. But at the end of the day, we got the win. We are the leaders in the NFC South. And a win is a win, right? Any given Sunday, that's how you got to do it. That's why I get on here every week. And when I do my keys, I always talk about special teams, because special teams is a big part of the game. People try to, not look at it and think it's just a formality. A lot of times, when it comes to kicking extra points, kicking, the mechanics of just kicking extra points in the game, right? Even though it was a 15-yard penalty, um, to push those guys back on that kick that they got, you know, in regulation, but at the same time, 48-yard kick, those 15 yards, and he pushed it to the left, right? And then he pushed the next one to the left as well. So definitely was in his head. Probably didn't sleep well that night, but let's be honest, it shouldn't have came down to that. The Falcons should have never gave up that deep pass first place. And we're going to talk about some of those things today, right? When I talk about some of the things that was good and the bad, because this is a time where you talk about the game, what you want to see from the Falcons, and how they can get better moving forward. Exactly, in my opinion, you want to see your team playing good football, hitting on all their cylinders in November and December, right? So we get into that time. We want to start to see the Falcons get some improvement. Definitely room for improvement from yesterday's game. But if you look at that game, and I definitely want to tip my hats off to the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers is not as bad of a team that their record shows. This game was pretty even throughout the game if you looked at it and watched it. What's going on, McTown Dirty? What's going on, Terry? What's my boy, Martin Jr.? What's going on, Bully? What's going on, Chester? Hot Fries, all you guys. Thank you guys for coming in. But this game was pretty even if you look at the stats across the board. The Carolina Panthers ran the ball well, just like the Falcons ran the ball. We knew that was one of the things they was going to do. I think the biggest surprise was the fact that they was able to pass the ball as well. They were. I think they might have found their quarterback for the time being. I think it was reported that Baker Mayfield was told that he's going to stay the backup, and PJ Walker actually is going to be the starter moving forward, which I think he has deserved. He have earned that spot to actually be the starter for that team. Good thing about it, right? We will see those guys again. Thursday night football in week 10. So let's get ready for that. Of course, we got to get through the Chargers first, but we'll see those guys again on Thursday night football. Another primetime game. Hopefully, everybody tune into that. We'll see what it's going to be like. Know those guys coming to try to to get their revenge on us that game, but we got to worry about the Chargers first. Another team that's coming out for a bye that the Atlanta Falcons have to face. It seems like the Atlanta Falcons always get the luck of the draw. I think this is the second team, maybe the third team we have played this season that had a head start on us. Either they played on Thursday night or something like that. So they got a head jump on this team. So I'm pretty much they watched the game, sitting down, resting, getting their guys healthy on a bye week last week, and then they're gonna come back fresh and get ready to play this Atlanta Falcons team who's already beat up. So that's one of the things we got to worry about. So we got to worry about battling the Los Angeles Chargers coming to the house. Luckily, he's at home. Atlanta Falcons is actually 3-1 at home this year. So that's good. Trying to create their home field advantage. Almost blew it again yesterday, but that's the way to stay resilient. That's why you always keep competing until all 3 zeros on the clock, because you never know what happened. And that's had happened to the Falcons so many times where we lose the game right at the end. So glad to see these guys, stuck in there. We got Bully saying that, man, this game was a heart attack for real. Yes, it was, man. Like I said, if you just living through the emotions of, the Carolina fans and the Atlanta Falcons fans, I was in the stadium. It was wild, right? After we got that fourth down stop, kicked the field goal, most of us telling the Carolina fans, you can go ahead and leave. You go ahead and leave, right? But at the same time, the Falcons just do what they do, right? They keep it close some way, somehow. Either having a boo boo or actually making some kind of play to keep them in the game. But it was nerve wracking to say the least. And at the same time, when you see a good game like that, exciting game, two teams, division foes who know each other well, fight down to the end, and then you come out on the positive side, it's always a great feeling. Especially the drive home for me, it was awesome. So that's one of the things I gotta say about this game. Quick reaction, unbelievable win for these guys at home. Never give up. Just got to keep playing and talk about how important special teams are. I mean, our kicker was able to kick it right down the middle, 41 yards on field goal kick to win the game. And their kicker was not. That's where it really boils down to. So many Super Bowls, so many big games have been made on the last second field goals. And Younghoe Koo has had 4 of those since he's been with the Falcons. So let's take our taps out to Younghoe Koo as well. He says, some way, somehow, it felt good to be winning on this. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like I said, when you have a battle like that, because you're looking at the game like this is a great game. I'm pretty sure they probably going to re-air this game again, probably this week. They'll probably have it on the NFL Network or something like that. Definitely be one of those games that go down in history in the catalog. So one of the best regular season games football history, because I could say that a lot of the players, a lot of the coaches said they had never been in a game like that, and I would agree. I have never really seen a game where within like that much of a time span, the mix of emotions when one team thought they had lost and one team thought they had won, and then to turn around and you see the ability of each team to keep going out there and don't give up and make something happen, right? But hey, that's what we're going. That's where we're at. That's the reaction of the game. Now we got to start looking towards the future, right? We got 9 games left in the season. Just because the top of the NFC South doesn't mean anything, because just as easily as we won today, we put in perspective. If we lose next week, the Bucks win, the Saints win, we're third in the division because both of those teams have beat us in NFC South. So that's how important it is for the Falcons to try to keep winning games, because we are top of the NFC South now. And you know what? That's how easy we could have been actually last in the division if we would have lost the game yesterday. So like I said, if we somehow actually lose on Sunday, the Bucks win, the Saints win, we are third in the division. So that's how close this division is right now. The Falcons still got to keep winning. One good thing is we control our own destiny now. We don't have to worry about any other team in the division. We just got to go out and win our games. But there's a lot of things that we need to work on moving forward. I think our coaching staff knows that, the players knows that, and we just have to keep, getting better. So we're going to talk about some of the good things that we saw yesterday. Of course, we got to talk about some of the bad as well, because got to be objective. It's happy to talk about the good and the bad, especially when you get a win. So we're going to talk about the offensive side of the ball first. I thought the offense started off really slow yesterday. I was really disappointed, and the way we came out. I felt that Arthur Smith tried to come out passing the ball. It's probably trying to try to get that side of the offense going a little bit. The passing game, the running game has been so dynamic. Also, your strength. Your opponents know your strength, so they're probably trying to stop what you do good. So you want to come out and try to mix it up a little bit. So you want to come out and try to start passing the ball. However, we was not good at that to start the game. Right? I think Marcus Mariota. Usually, I applauded him a lot this season of getting himself out of bad plays. I thought he holding on to the ball a couple of times too long in those first couple of drives, took big sacks, and the create a negative play. When you create a negative play, you give up 13 yards on second down, put you in third and long. Pretty much that's a punt. And what it was really doing as well was what I talked about on Wednesday with the keys was field position. And we was getting backed up like we were on the offensive side of the ball early in the game. That field position was not really good for the Atlanta Falcons. The Panthers was getting good field position. Our defense was playing great in the beginning of the game. They was able to hold those guys, especially that first drive to 3 points. And we took the 7-3 lead. That's some of the things that we was able to do playing that complementary football in that first half. But our offense definitely started out slow. Then we had one of our best drives of the game, right? End up with Kyle Pitts getting a touchdown. That was really big for us. And I thought that would start to get our offense going. Mixed in the run. Run still did good. We actually ran for 167 yards yesterday. We don't been over 150 yards in 5+ games this season. That's really good for this team. So the run game is still steady, still doing good. But one good thing we can say yesterday, Marcus Mariota was 20 for 28, 239 yards, 105 passing rating, right? So that's 3 weeks in a row. Marcus Mariota has been, what's going on, Kevin? 3 weeks in a row where Marcus Mariota has been over 100 passing rating, which like I said, is really good for him. 3 touchdowns, the 2 picks. We're going to talk about those 2 picks in just a minute, but I thought the offense started slow and started to get in rhythm. Arthur Smith mentioned today, I thought he had made a lot of off schedule passes, but in reality, he was just able to move the pocket. And Arthur Smith said he was actually, some of those passes was based off some of his progressions, like progressions in the game. So, which is good, which means those was design calls. He read the field well. He was able to manipulate the pocket enough. On a lot of plays, he was right there, got rid of the ball just in time to get the ball out to his playmakers, and they made plays yesterday. Kyle Pitts and in particular, I think when Kyle Pitts get over 80 yards, the Falcons actually have a pretty good record. So I think that's a recipe for success for the Falcons. If they get Kyle Pitts the ball, get him involved in the game, good things happen for this offense. Drake London got it going a little bit yesterday, had 3 receptions for 38 yards. One big reception he had in that final drive in that game. Marcus Mariota made a good play. And of course, Damiere Byrd is starting to become one of our big play receivers that we have. Had touchdown the last 2 games. Tyler Algier, Kayla Huntley is still steady. Young running backs that we got in the backfield. I love the way they're playing. So the offense as a whole is still doing good. Was able to put up enough points to win the game. Right? They put up 29 points yesterday, which is awesome for our offense. And we needed every last one of those points from our offense yesterday. So hats off to the offense. Got to start better. We got to start playing faster and early in the game. We got to start getting that rhythm down. thought yesterday, beginning of the game, everybody was ready to go ahead and pull the plug on Marcus Mariota, but I think he actually um turned it around. Like I said, 105 passer rating, only had 8 incompletions, um, 2 big picks. I thought the first pick he had, I chalked that up to a punt. It was so deep that when he punted the ball, when he threw the interception, it was so deep down the field. That's the first interception that he had. It was like a punt, right? So sometimes that happened. He tried to take a shot down the field. Has to work on his deep passing right now, especially it just sometimes it just don't look like um he's on target throwing the ball deep. So that's one thing he definitely got to work on. So go to the board here a little bit. Billy Buddy, I love the way Kyle Pitts stepped up. His energy playing was different. Yes, get Kyle Pitts the ball. I thought it was outstanding the way Kyle Pitts 2 weeks in a row he's able to get into the not 2 weeks in a row, two home games in a row he's able to get in the end zone. Like I said, you start to get Kyle Pitts going, good things is definitely going to happen. Kevin says Mark Mario made some throws because of his athletic abilities. Could make not a poor passer, but can move. Yes, he the way he was able to maneuver the pocket and go through his progressions was definitely good. He made to me thought he made some couple of off schedule throws, which was good. His receivers stayed, moving he can find the spots to get delivering on the balls. And then once you got the ball to some of your playmakers' hand, they made the plays they need to make. I thought Drake London made a couple of good third down catches. That would go on the rating. He only had 3 receptions, but he did make 2 great third down receptions that kept the chains moving on some of our drives. So, but I love the way Marcus Mariota, I agree with you, was able to maneuver the pocket. And you're right, we would not be able to do that with a non-mobile quarterback. I love the escape Val Pitts. Also, yeah, those was great plays, and I thought both of those plays was more like his last read. On the checkdown, both of those guys was wide open on both of those plays. Of course, the one Kyle Pitts called, he went for like 25, 30 yards on that. OZ got down the field, started a good drive late, and what we really needed on that play. So those are some of the plays that Marcus Mario was able to do to get the ball to some of his playmakers. We can score way higher with Pitts, but Drake and Bird came up in the clutch. They really did, right? Like I said, Drake had some great catches. Demir Bird is becoming a big play guy for us. His speed, these guys run like a 4.3. Guys, they know that. Pretty sure you could probably see the speed on the field when he gets the ball in his hand. Lumde Kids is also a good possession receiver for us. And guys, let's just put in perspective. I know you probably saw CP on the sidelines with free Calvin Ridley. Just imagine if Calvin Ridley was in this offense as well. No, we don't pass the ball a lot, but with another dynamic receiver like a Calvin Ridley to go along with Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and those weapons we got, this offense potentially be even more dynamic, moving forward with our passing game. Let's see here. It was such a tough roller coaster. We should have won the game without DJ Moore catching Hail Mary play on D Marlowe, but yes. Like I'm going to hit on the defense in just a minute, but football 101, right? Your safety, well, the cardinal rule is don't let nobody get behind you. You got to know the time, the situation. They had to score a touchdown, so that goes without saying that Dean Marlowe screwed that play up. But luckily, it did not come back and bite us in the butt. It's definitely a teaching moment for our defense, and it didn't cost us the game, right? So let's be happy about that. Drake and Pitts took big hits and still, yeah, man, physicality, right? Both of those guys, like I said, man, you got to take your hats off to the Carolina Panthers. They came to play. It was a big game for that team. They did the things they had to do to win that game. The Falcons just came out on top at the end, so you gotta love it. The Panthers acting like they played out top corner. Yeah, yeah, man. Let's let's go back, and if you go look back at last year's game when we played them in Carolina, and go look at how AJ Terrell was able to shut down DJ Moore. Right. I have to tip my hats off to our young cornerbacks, and like I said, I talk about the defense in just a minute because I'm gonna get into that defensive backfield in just a minute. Uh, Free Red, I hope you put some muscle during suspension. I know, right? But you have to admit that Cal really is he's a dynamic receiver. I know a lot of people don't like the way he, kind of avoid contact, kind of avoid contacts and things like that. But he's is a good receiver, and just add to his weapon. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do. Right, it's $11 million on the book next year. Will they trade him or will they bring him to camp and let him play out his contract? We'll have to find out. Those, yeah, there was some big hits, and both of those guys was able to sustain it, hold on to the ball, and let the defense know good hit, but it's still first down, right? Because both of those are first down catches for both of those guys. I almost died yesterday during the game. Hey, no, you like I said, I don't know if you was early, but I left the game. I left my seat twice in that game, right? Because I thought it was over, right? Yeah, I mean, you just go look at the percentages. Field goals usually routine, but hey, that's why you have to let it play out, right? See what happens. We gotta let Ridley be Ridley when he come back. Yes, let him do his thing, man. We got physical guys already in the middle. Let Ridley, do the things he was doing. His first 4 seasons here for the Falcons, right? We got to let Ridley do his thing. Ridley, that dude, no lie, he makes questionable decisions, but he need to redeem himself. Yeah, we're going to see if he's going to come back and do that. Hopefully, he's watching his team, seeing that the culture has been built, and he realized that he gonna have to fit in, or he's gonna be out the door just like all the other guys. It's just the way this regime is building the team and the way things are going. So, all right, let's get into the defensive side of the ball. And I'm gonna do it like this. We're gonna just go ahead and talk about the Falcons secondary. And you said Ridley is a real deep threat. I agree with you on that. But let's talk about our secondary, guys, and let's just talk about the depth. I know I've been talking about this team and how it's been built on the depth, and it's a lot of depth on the team. I think we're definitely being tested on that theory right now, especially in our secondary. Both of our starting corners was out yesterday. Our starting strong free safety was out as well. Safety, strong safety, free safety, and Jalen Hawkins. So both of those, that 3 of our starters was out yesterday. So let's be honest about when we talk about these guys throwing over 300 yards. A lot of our backups was in. Poor Armstrong. Nobody's gonna feel sorry for Cornell Armstrong, but they picked on him all game yesterday. But I mean, let's he battled the entire game. They tried so many times to take shots, fade routes. He was there, for the challenge. He gave up plays as well, right? I mean, it's just what backups do. That's why they're not starting their end to try to come in and sustain, and fill in for the starter until the starter gets back. But Cornell Armstrong, he played his heart out yesterday. You got to give him his props. Darren Hall did as well. It's just the things that you have to deal with. Dean Marlowe, like I said, he got bailed out by the wind, but definitely on a big mistake that he made on that last play, trying to come up and stop a shallow route from the inside and letting DJ Moore get behind him. Right, you're the safety. Everybody like knows this. Like I said, football 101. You probably taught this in high school. You're the last line of defense. Don't let anybody get behind you. And that's exactly what Dean Marlowe did. And it hurt us. I mean, it almost cost us the game, right? So that's something that's teachable. Like I say, you can teach that. Arch Smith mentioned they really didn't think that he was actually going to take that shot down the field. And they said that's one of the longest passes um, this year. I think it was 68 yards down the field. So great play by PJ Walker, great catch by DJ Moore. Like I said, but at the end of the day, we got to win. So it was just a catch. You can put that in the same category. Not as important, right? The great catch that Julio Jones made in the Super Bowl. Nobody really remembers that catch. You know why? Because we lost the game. I thought that was one of the greatest Super Bowl catches ever in the Super Bowl by Julio Jones on the sideline, and nobody remembers it because we lost. So great throw by PJ Walker, great catch by DJ Moore, but they lost the game. So hey, it really doesn't matter about that. Right here, he says Armstrongs need more playing time. I watch all rookies, free agent signing. We have some great players, plus our starter experience. I'm not surprised. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, Cornell Armstrong, that's his second game, in real live action. Yes, he played in preseason, things like that, but I mean, that's his second game, right? He came in um last week against the Bengals after AJ went down. So it's his first full game that he played. Like I say, he battled, man. You gotta give him his props. It's tough though. Um, I like the depth as well, but hopefully, let's just pray AJ's out not too long. I don't want him to actually rush himself back though, because we don't want that lingering throughout, these remaining 9 games. But as soon as AJ Terrell can get back, the better for us. Kevin says we can cut our heart attack issues down a lot if we would just get off the field. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned this. This is what really killed us in this game. This is what Kevin's is talking about here. And I'm gonna put it back up on the screen. And he talked about 3rd and long, right? This is one of the things that the Falcons, for some reason, I do not understand what happens in our head when it's 3rd and long, right? We always give up the 3rd and long play. I think we gave up like 3 yesterday. If we could have just got off the field on 3rd down, and then if I look at it, when I'm looking at the Panthers 3rd down stats, right? Hold on just a minute. Third down percentage. It was 5 for 13 on 3rd down, and we gave up like 3 3rd and longs, right? So if put in perspective what Kevin talking about, if we as a defense able to get off the field on 3rd down, we wouldn't have these issues we had yesterday. This is one of the things I know Dean Pease has mentioned it as well. A lot of his press conference that he has had. 3rd down is really has been killing us, and then the 3rd and long is really is what we got to fix, right? You think about it, the 4th down when Rashaan Evans got the sack, and it was 4th down on the and DJ Moore actually caught the ball, he dropped it. So let's just put it. We almost gave up that 4th and long on that play. I think it was 4th and 19. Those are killers. Those are really killers for us. We got to do better in that. Right now, the Falcons probably the worst pass defense in the league. Of course, I know the philosophy, bend don't break, things like that. But these last 2 games that it's starting to rear ahead just a little bit, and we starting to give up too many big plays. And I thought the big plays yesterday is really what kept those guys in the game. The middle of the field was like wide open all game long, from our linebackers to safeties, the cornerbacks getting beat on crossing routes. It was just not a good day for our secondary. And I love the depth as well, but we got to clean things up there. Like I said, the last 2 weeks, too many passing yards have been given up for big plays by this team. And Dean Pease and this Atlanta Falcons in the last 2 years has really not been known to give up so many big plays like they have in the last 2 weeks. So definitely something we got to clean up, especially with the Los Angeles Chargers coming in. It's going to be tough to clean up some of those things. And Kevin said, not 3rd and 7 either. Like 3rd and 30. Yes. Long. I mean, it was like when when teams get in 3rd and 13 or more, 3rd and 12 and more, even 3rd and 10, right? 3rd and 10 is hard to complete in a NFL game, and the Falcons just like routinely was giving that up, especially yesterday. In the last 2 weeks, just to say the least, in our passing game, we got to clean up that, and that's why you like you said you celebrate these games because you get the win, but you can give have good conversations with your team and let them know if we don't start to clean up these things, is we won't get lucky like we did yesterday. And because we made just enough plays, more than the Panthers yesterday, but it shouldn't have been that close. I thought we had so many opportunities to win the game, but these 3rd and longs that we was getting them yesterday, these big plays that we gave yesterday, and just being there in the stadium, when the fans get loud and we trying to pump the defense up, and you don't know how demoralizing it is. And I'm pretty sure the players do know, but demoralizing is when it's 3rd and 19, 3rd and 13, and you give up a big play on those downs because they have to go for the sticks on that play. So why are you not being able to make the play that you need to make to get off the field? Right? Third downs or money downs in the league. Everybody knows this. And for some reason, our defense has been failing on that. Yes. Yes. I mean, just go back and look at him. The second downs, the third downs, it was killing us all game. And could it be our young guys in the secondary? Not wanting to put it totally on those guys. Could it be, the play call that Dean Pease was calling? Maybe he should put more zone out there, and less pressure on the quarterback to make him be able to throw the ball into holes and during in those long distance and down. He tried that at the end of the game, right? When he rushed 3 and PJ Walker was able to get out and throw a Hail Mary to DJ Moore. So I guess you damn if you do, damn if you don't. But we got to clean that up. Trust me, guys, they smarter than us. I know they know that it's an issue moving forward. Hopefully we can see those guys start to work on those things to clean up the 3rd and long, the 2nd and long. Is one of the biggest issues for our defense right now, and our secondary is something that's really hurting us. Our pass protection need help. Help too. Marcus is scared the pressure, but he cleaned it up in the end. I mean, this point right here is it's not as bad as it was last year because we have a mobile quarterback. I think the idea that Marcus Mariota is a mobile quarterback is really one of the things that's covering up, some of our pass protection issues that we have seen this season. And that's what you got. That's what you're gonna get. The Steelers are the young offensive line. These guys definitely got to actually get better. Get better chemistry. The longer they play with each other. Of course, we got a new center, new left guard. The longer they play with each other, it's been better this year because our quarterback able to get out of issues. And I thought for the most part this season, he did do a great job of that. Yesterday, I thought he did not. I thought he had too many negative plays. A couple of times I thought the pass not there, either get out the pocket, throw the ball away, or do something like that. But for some reason he did not do that yesterday. He had too many negative plays, and I actually was giving Marcus Mariota kudos on that in the past because for the most part he was keeping us out of negative plays instead of giving those, you know. Because yesterday I think he had a sack, got sacked for like 13 yards, right? That was not happening most of the time this season. He was getting, if you get sacked, you give up 1 or 2 yards, still manageable down in distance. But yesterday, I thought too many times he made hold on the ball and actually got sacked in plays. So good point about the pass protection, but I think the way Marcus Mariota is mobile is helping that out, and it's kind of covering up some of the pass protection issues that we have, and let these guys get chemistry. Like I said, guys, we want to be able to play our best football in November and December, right? Almost in November. Let's see what we can actually start to see these guys get better and better each week. Prevent decent only prevents us from winning. Yeah, I agree with that. Um, the ideal of the game yesterday, though, I understood what they was doing. The Panthers had no timeout. It was 23 seconds left on the clock when he threw that ball. The whole idea is to make those guys catch the ball, in the middle of the field, tackle them, and then they would have to actually definitely come up and probably have like one more play um in the game. So that's the reason why they've played that defense. They played, like I said, they had to score a touchdown, right? And don't get beat deep. And that's one thing you would tell your player, don't get beat deep. And that's exactly what Dean Marlowe did. But guess what? We don't have to even worry about it because it did not lose us the game yesterday. That 62-yarder was on Marlowe back. Yes. It's just what I said. He slowed down more. Yes. Like I said, and he tried to display himself, and he said he was looking at the underneath route. He did not think that PJ Walker was actually going to throw that ball that deep. But one rule, don't let a guy get behind you, and that's what he did. So, like I said, we can talk about it, and laughed about it right now because it did not cost us to win. So, what's going on, brown people? I know, right? I can't. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's so funny, man. Like I said, I left the game. I left my seat twice in this game because I thought the game was over. Really did, right? I can understand the first miss, right? 15-yard penalty, 48-yard field goal, not a chip shot, right? The second miss, I don't understand how he missed that game, how he missed that kick. Arthur Smith, he froze him. He was like, that's the only thing he had left to do. Call timeout, kind of make the guy think about the kick, and it worked, right? It worked. He missed it. So yeah, we can give him honor or mention, right? In our ring of honor for that game. I know the guy feels sick, but people underestimate special teams so much, and that's why special team is it's one of the big things. I think we were due for one as many as exactly right. I mean, football guys just looked out for us yesterday. I mean, we go back. I can call out at least let's see, the Dallas Cowboys game, right? The onside kick. Talk about that, right? Let's talk about that game. Let's talk about um Todd Gurley scoring a touchdown when he could have just went down, and then we could have just ran the clock out. And then they go back and score in that game. Let's talk about Chicago bringing in Nick Foles, and he come down and win the game for those guys. So many times, and if Atlanta Falcons, you've been a Atlanta Falcons a long time, you know what I'm talking about. So many times the ball just don't bounce our way. We give up a big play, something like that, and it's over. And I mean, just go back to week 1, right? We had that game in control, and then the ball just didn't bounce our way. Marcus Mariota fumbled the ball on 3rd and 1, forced Arthur Smith to to punt the ball. A lot of people said he could have went for it there, but just see if we get that snap, we might get the first down in the game there, and we could have beat the Saints in week 1. So finally, the football gods looked out for us, and hey, we was able to get that win that we needed. Let's see here. How about the old offensive line set the field goal? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. That was another thing that the refs. I thought they missed a couple of calls. I thought they missed the pass interference on Demir Bird. I thought that was a pass interference call. I understand you don't want to call that at the end of the game, whatever, but it was pass interference, 100% pass interference on that play. Um, and then I felt that the Carolina Panthers jumped, and that should have been first down, and then we would have pretty much ended the game there. You're right; they wouldn't have got the ball back. We would have just ran the clock out. They had used all their timeout, and the game would have been over. So I thought the refs messed up on that. Um, but they gave it back with the 15-yard penalty on DJ Moore taking off his helmet. Well, unless he did, right? Todd Gurley tried so hard to miss it. Yes, he did, man. He tried his best not to fall into the end zone. And then if you go back and look at the the replay, Matt Ryan tell him don't score. Don't score. But the team just let him through, and he tried his best not to fall in the zone. But yeah. Oh, you talking about the Bengals game. I remember that, Dreddy. AJ Green, right. And I thought who was it? Was it I think it was Isaiah Oliver or either AJ Terrell bit up on an underneath pass and it went over the top. And I remember that game, the Bengals game. What about the Saints game when Drew Brees on both our defenders hit him and he spent in and hit touchdown? You guys remember that game? It's been so many times where the Falcons or the Eagles game where Carson Wentz, we won this game because Julio caught the screen pass. I don't know if you guys remember this, but the Eagles game, Carson Wentz threw the ball down, just threw it up in the air, and all our defenders was around the player, but somehow he came down with it. I think Keanu Neal was there. Allen was there. It was so many guys around that ball, and somehow he came down with it. Even though we won that game, Julio caught the screen pass. I know you guys remember that was on Monday Night Football. We was able to come away with a win on that game, but it's been so many times where the football guys just wasn't in the Falcons' favor, and we was due one, right? So I'm glad you brought the AJ Green one. I do remember that. Or the Drew Brees almost got set. That I just mentioned it. You right. You remember we on the same line here. I was finna say week 1 block kick. I think we beat his record. Right about that. Let's see here. This is a question I was thinking about this. Like I said, if AJ is not 100%, I agree with you because, and then you think about it, he rests against the Chargers. Then we got a Thursday night game coming right up, so we're gonna play, 2 games within 4 days, right? Um, maybe we let him rest both of those games, and then we had like a little mini bye from the Thursday night game. Then he come back after that. It's going to be hard not to have him out there for that long length of time, but if he's not 100%, I agree with you. So he can miss the next 2 games, then come back after the little mini bye from the Thursday night game. Then he can actually come in and be healthy, 100% healthy. Unless he's 100% healthy this week, we'll have to see. But if he's not, if he's still, feeling anything in the hamstring, just sit him out. I agree with you on that. And then it's gonna be tough though, right? Because the Chargers got Mike Williams out there. I'm not sure it's the other. I can't think of his name. The other receiver for the Chargers, if he's back yet. But believe me, Justin Herbert is going to throw the ball around just like the quarterback from Cincinnati did. So be ready for that. He's going to throw the ball. That's what they do. They call legal sack. You think about that? Buccaneers we have could lost 5 games in a row, right? If they wouldn't have got that phantom roughing the passer called on Grady. Don't forget Nick Foles come back with the Bears. Yep, that's all the ones I'm talking about. I remember all those games, man. Just put us out of our misery. I remember every last one of those games. I think that was the last year for Dan Quinn. That year you're talking about because we lost so many orange score games. So we was on the opposite side last year. In 9 games we won 7 games on one. We won 7 of those one score games in 9 games last year. So tables turned for us last year. You're starting to see that again this year. Like I said, new culture, new regime. Hopefully this team is turning the corner. Just the things we gotta work on. Like I said, giving up big plays, those third and longs and things like that. Getting ready, getting our offense ready early in the start of the game. Getting off on a better start from an offensive standpoint and at the start of the game, right? Um, not having to, get it going later on. Getting in rhythm early. If we can do that, I think that'll definitely help our team. The big plays on defense, the side of the ball, being able, I think we getting close with our pass pressure. Set. We got 12 sacks on the season. Remember, we only had 18 last year. We got 12 sacks on the season, almost to that number already, and we still got 9 games left. So it's safe to say we're definitely gonna get that number that we need. Chuck Smith, you say? Do you remember Chuck Smith with the hurt knee, barely missed Favre in the playoffs? Yep, I remember that as well. It's so many plays that you can go back. Let's see. Well, let's talk about the 2012, where Roddy White got pass interference and they didn't call it. We had we did have a 17-point lead in that game and we blew that. So I mean, it's just so many different things that we can think about with the Falcons, and where we felt like we was right there, and we could just let's talk about the Giants went to New York on playoff game, put up 2 points. I don't know if you guys remember that. We was the number 1 seed against Green Bay, and Green Bay ran us off the field in that year. So many times where the Falcons has had success during the seasons, and then in big games we just did not finish right. Don't want to talk about the Super Bowl. It was a young team, 96 defensive plays on that. No adjustments on defense whatsoever. So Kyle Shanahan did not want to run the ball so many times. The Packers Monday night game put the nail in the coffin on DK. Yep. Yeah, I think that was you right. That was the one where they scored like I think every time they touched the ball that game. You're right. I think they scored like every time they touched the ball in that game. And Dan Quinn and then they look what he's doing for the Cowboys. Everybody praising him, things like that. And they're like, well, he didn't have the players in Atlanta. Well, he picked the players. Him and Thomas Dimitra picked the players. He had the final say on the players in Atlanta. So I do not want anybody to say that he didn't have his players he needed in Atlanta. He picked the players. So if he didn't have the players he needed to run a good defense for the Atlanta Falcons, because he didn't pick the right players. That's what it boils down to. That's just what it is. He has to own up to that. Him and TD, and we just pretty much got rid of pretty much the whole Thomas Dimitro, Dan Quinn team. Aside from Grady, Jake, right? I think we got Jalen Hawkins still here, Michael Walker. some of the guys that we want to move, forward in the future with. But for the most part, the Dan Quinn, Tommy Dimitri ever is just a little, little smidge of resemblance of that team here. Kevin Ridley still here, but Kevin Ridley is a good player, so just a knucklehead, right? All right, let's get in real quick. My players of the game, player of the game, this game. So I can say Lorenzo Carter, right? That was a big play for us. We definitely need that touchdown. Like I said, our offense put up 29 points, but to get that 6 right there definitely helped us out. So Lorenzo Carter, you can call him out. Um, Grady had a pretty quiet game. He did have two tackles for a loss, in the game. But my player of the game, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it is Young Waku, right? Um, their kicker couldn't get it done, but our kicker, I think we was all like, oh, we good. We in field goal range. That's why Arthur Smith went for it on third down, right? If the mechanics didn't work the way we wanted to work, he was going to nail it in. That's what happened. So my player of the game for this game is Young Waku. Right, it took the whole game and 2 minutes left in overtime to get it done, but we able to come away with the win. So my player of the game was Young Waku. So many other players you can talk about. Like I say, you can talk about Kyle Pitts, 89 yards. Demir Bird hit 6-7 yards, big play. Tyler Algier, more receiver yesterday, 46 yards. And then Drake London, his 31 yards, his key third down. That's it. So a lot of guys that we could talk about. We could talk about some of the guys on the offensive line. Elijah Wilkins with the big block to spring. Tyler Algier on that screenplay. Marcus Mariota, talk about him. Big play that he made. That long run he had on third down in overtime to seal the game. But we can't do that because the interception that he had in overtime really should have sealed the game on the other side. So, so I won't say Marcus Mariota, but so my player of the game is cool, 100%, Young Waku, right? That's why they gave him the long contract. He does not miss a lot of field goals. He have missed a couple this year, but for the most part, he's pretty much automatic, and he's my player of the game. It's just what it boils down to. Now we got to get ready for the Chargers. We got to do the things we're gonna do, and hopefully, let's see here. To me, it looked like nobody gave up. Nobody did give up. That's this team, right? Nobody gave up on this game. The coaching staff, like Arthur Smith mentioned, time still on the clock. You got to figure out what play you're gonna call next. That's just what it really boils down to. Do you think CLP come back as a receiver? I think they're gonna use CP like they've been using him. He's just a dynamic player. I think when he comes back, he's just gonna add more to this offense because the other guys have developed and they have, so it's just gonna be more we can add now. More for the defense to think about when Cordell Patterson get back. Hope he come back this week. I off the IR, we'll just have to see. Say cool to golden child. Yes. Bird just gave up on the play. Yeah, you're right. I this is right here. I'm glad you mentioned this. I thought Demir Bird on both of his interceptions that Marcus Mariota had. You have to turn to the defender on those plays. If you're not going to catch it, you need to make sure the defender don't catch it. You can get a pass interference. It don't matter, right? Because it's just a penalty on that. You can punt the ball instead of a turnover. So I agree with you. Demir Bird has to do better on those deep passes. Just don't give up. Don't let the defender catch the ball. At least try to at least prevent him from catching it if you can't catch it. That's a great point, King Kill. The last thing I'm gonna talk about, guys, because it is tomorrow, is the trade deadline. Real quick, I know you guys seen the trade today. Roquan Smith to the Baltimore Ravens. We seen the trade last week. Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers. Robert Quinn going to the Philadelphia Eagles. So guys are making trades out there. I don't think the Falcons are going to make a trade. Kind of wish they would, especially in the secondary, how beat up our secondary is. But I think the Falcons feel like right now they're maybe a year away from really competing to be that Super Bowl team, and they have a plan, right? I like their plan. I'm not going to mess with their plan. If they found a guy that they could trade, for the future of this team, by all means, but we're not going to make a trade, for this year, trying to win it this year. Like I said, anything could happen. The Falcons could, do their thing this year, but I still think that they have a good plan. They was able to clean their cap sheets going into next year. They got rid of all those bad contracts that they had. So if the Falcons do not decide to make a trade, if they will, like I said, there's some places I could definitely, especially on the defensive side of the ball, you could see them making some ways. Defensive tackles, like the defensive tackle out of the Commanders, Washington team. Like I said, another cornerback, Willie Jackson. Somebody they mentioned, like I said, somebody that definitely could help this team, especially with some of our injuries in our secondary. But I'm not gonna, push the issue on the trade deadline for the Falcons. It's actually in tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So pretty sure a lot of teams are on the phone right now. It's a lot of guys to still mention that might get traded. Kareem Hunt was one of the guys they talk about could be traded. Like I said, Willie Jackson, Ryan Payne was another guy. Burns from the Panthers was mentioned, even though the Panthers came out and said they wasn't gonna do any trades. Either Nick Chubb name was actually mentioned. The Browns would be dumb to trade Nick Chubb, but you have seen other teams do dumb stuff before. So, but I don't think the Falcons actually going to make any trades. So, but the trade deadline does end tomorrow at 4 p.m. and that'll be it for the trade deadline for this season. It's still free agents out there. The Falcons definitely signed. They do have about $9 million, a little bit over $9 million in salary cap. So if they needed to, pick up somebody, they don't have to make a trade. They can actually go into free agency and pick up somebody as well. So that's just some of the things they could do if they think they need to fix some trouble spots. They don't know how long AJ Terrell is going to be out. They said he was day to day. We'll just have to see. We not going to make a trade. I just don't see that happening. Let's see here. Maybe we'll be better with Drake London. Yeah, I agree. I thought the play that he did try Drake London deep one time. He overthrew him. He just need to work on the deep pass, man. His deep pass is terrible. I'm gonna be honest with you. Falcons got to throw the ball more. Got many weapons on. Yes, they do. Hey, he threw the ball 28 times yesterday. Nobody think he could do that. Arthur Smith trust him to put the ball up. He did. 20 for 28. That's a pretty good percentage for somebody that considered not that accurate, right? So that's pretty good. Just got to start faster, I think, for our offense. Did the Falcons sign Sue? Who is that? Oh, Dom Sue. I heard about that. I don't think they did. I wish they would. That'd be awesome. Oh man, they would sign him. That'd be great. And he's still out there, so it's definitely. I have to look that up. If they did, I'm definitely gonna see me come out with another video on that. If they signed them, so that would be awesome. What's going on? Millie Mills. Yeah, he had 105 quarterback rating. Like he did pretty good yesterday. 239 yards, 3 touchdowns. Like I said, that first pick, you look at that as a punt. That second pick was bad, even though just like King Kel mentioned, definitely I thought Demir Bird probably could have tried to make a play on the ball, at least keep the defender from catching that second, especially in overtime. It's a big play of the moment, big play in the game. We always talk about situations and things like that. The time situations and games are more important than others, and I thought that play was definitely one of those plays where you have to try to make a stop at least to change some things. So that's one of the things that we we know we're an imperfect team, right? 4-4. So much things this team got to work on. Like I said, this team is right where they need to be right now, right? Competitive team. That's what we wanted to see from this team this year. They was able to clean up their cap space. You can see the potential. It's a young team, one of the youngest teams in the NFL. They got a lot of young guys playing, a lot of rookies playing, things like that. So it's a lot to really be happy about the Atlanta Falcons moving forward. But we want to see how far this team can get this year, see how much growth they can do, you know, from now to the next 9 games and see where they end up at, right? No matter what happened with this team this year, um, we saw a lot of growth from this team, and we see the potential we can definitely have in the future, especially adding more pieces around the edges and things like that. Younger players getting better and better in this scheme, knowing what they need to do, and see the improvement. So those are things that we definitely like from this team. Now we got to get ready for the Los Angeles Chargers, right? See, can we get over 500 again? And that's some of the things we were not able to do so far. Get over 500. So that's one of the things we definitely want to see. So moving forward, guys, that's what we're going to see from this team. Come back on Wednesday. Look at my keys to victory for the Chargers. Those guys got a week head start on us from the bye. That's not gonna matter. We got another home game. Fans, bring your mojo out. See, can we get another win and keep winning because right now, like I said, we're number one. And I'm gonna say this one more time for everybody knows we're number one in the division. But if the Bucks win, the Saints win, and we lose, we're third. Just that quick after one game, right? So that's how tight it is because we lost to both of those teams. So even though we'll have the same record as them, we'll um you know they'll be 1 and 2 again in the division and we'll be third. So that's how we have to keep winning right now and to stay where we need to be. That's where it's at. That boy Armstrong, that dog in him. Yes, man, you gotta live it. He fought all game long. Um, you have to do his props up, Billy Mills. You're 100% right. He fought all game long. You got to. That's what he had to do. He had to go out and show that what he was capable of. They picked on him all day too, right? That's only gonna make him better throughout. But you could tell, right now the drop off between him and a guy like AJ Terrell, some of those passes probably wouldn't have been complete. If you had our starting corners out there, but he's going to get improve. And I think right here it said, yeah, he's going to improve. That's just his second game, as a NFL player, played in the preseason, but I mean he came in last week, in spot minutes after AJ Terrell went out. So yesterday his first full game. Said he's a dog, man. He kept playing. You got to get the technique down, and we got to maybe Dean P is gonna have to call a game just a little bit different right now. That man to man is might not be something that he's definitely ready for. Play a little bit more zone. See what we can do on that. The Saints got the Raven, the Bucks got the round. Hopefully they can take care of the Chargers regardless what happened to. Yes, I agree with you. Though for the Saints and the Bucks is not easy wins for either one of those teams. So I'm just talking about right at this point now. The Falcons control their own destiny. Right, they keep winning no matter what the Bucks or the Saints do. The Falcons are in control of their own destiny. So that's where you want us to be, right? That throw where Marcus flew through the air and threw the ball first down. Yeah, man. I thought that was luck, to be honest with you, but it was a great play. I thought that was lucky play. I'm glad Huntley got his chance. I seen yes, man. He's a monster, man. Um, it's kind of interesting. You wonder what they're gonna do with Damian Williams. I think he's healthy to come return back. He just had a rib injury. So I don't see Huntley's not staying on this team moving forward. I don't see him not staying on this team. I think Huntley's head. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they decide to do with Damian Williams. If they're gonna bring him back after IR or not. We know they're bringing CP back, so we'll just have to see what they decide to do. Overall, Rakonda, I think our problem on D being our safeties, not just this year but years past. Yes, I agree with you 100%. Our safeties have been. I mean, I know Dean Pease wish he had a Ed Reed out there, right? No, he do. Wish he had an Ed Reed. So we'll just have to see what they decide to do. I know Dean Marlowe made that mistake yesterday. I know he's so happy he got taken off the hook for that blunder he had. So, but we'll have to see what these guys decide to do. He said Huntley is a beast. He is a beast. That's 100%. The guy had I think I wrote it down. He had 91 rushing yards yesterday. All right, 16 carry, 91 rushing yards, 5.7 yards to carry. And the guy just he don't stop, right? He get contact, he keep moving his feet. It's funny, you watching Tyler Algier, you notice he never really go down when they hit him. He's always standing up. Those are big backs, and they keep doing the things they do. You gotta love the backfield. And then CP's coming back, just gonna make them more dynamic. That's all the things we gotta do. But guys, I've been on here for over an hour, so I'm about to go ahead and get off. I'm glad you guys came on and talk about this game, this recap of the unbelievable win that we had yesterday with so many mixed emotions. I think Tyler Huntley said it best. You had to go get him a shot of tequila, even though he don't drink, right? Because that was one of those games. So, other than that, like I said, guys, please come back and on Wednesday when I talk about the keys to victory, about how what was going to take for us to actually get this win moving forward, right? And this is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.